Hip-hop is not just a soundtrack, it's a battlefield. One minute Kanye's in a MAGA hat beside Trump, the next Kendrick's turning the Super Bowl into a protest stage. Cardi B's unloading political fire on Instagram, and suddenly rap feels more like a rally than a record. But when did the culture of the streets become the conscience of a nation? What happens when the beat drops and the ballot shakes? The cheap shot that hits deep. You could chalk it up to optics. Politicians are not dumb, they know a selfie with Cardi B or a shout-out from 50 Cent is not just good PR. It's a straight shot into the hearts of millions glued to their phones, not C-SPAN. Trump's 2020 and 2024 campaigns understood the assignment. Put Lil Pump on stage, wave Kodak Black around as a symbol, even let Amber Rose grace and Republican National Convention rally, anything to hijack hip-hop spotlight. The strategy? Borrow clout, hijack the hype, and swap street cred for sound bites. But here's the twist. Rapper endorsements rarely move the needle when it comes to actual vote. Studies show they are more smoke than fire. Yeah, 50 joked about Biden taxes, and sure, Trump pardoned some rap icons. But those headlines didn't translate to ballots, they just juiced the culture war. These were not voter drives, they were dopamine drops for the internet. Still, campaigns kept tossing the dice, because a viral clip costs less than a TV ad in Michigan and might just get a Fox News segment or a TikTok trend. But here's the plot twist. While some rappers played political cameos, others, Kanye, Kendrick, Cardi, wanted the lead role. Coming up next, why these cultural giants weren't content being campaign props. Who's really crafting the narrative? Here's where it gets murky. Rappers are not just performers, they are master narrators. Cultural architects shaping how millions see the world. And politicians? They eat that influence up like it's campaign candy, especially when it's controllable. Take Kanye. His 2020 and 2024 presidential bids were not just eyebrow raisers, they were plot twists. He cozied up to MAGA, preached about the 13th Amendment, and wore that red hat like a crown. But did he want to win, or was he playing spoiler? Some say he siphoned off votes just to stir chaos, a pawn on someone else's chessboard. A political puppet wrapped in Yeezy drip. Meanwhile, Cardi B brought heat of a different kind, blasting candidates over war budgets, schooling politicians on Instagram, and backing Bernie then Biden with a Bronx-born fire they couldn't bottle. She was not a political pawn. She was a one-woman think tank with a mic. Still, campaigns circled her like buzzards, desperate to tap into her realness. That's the tug-of-war. Controlled influence vs. unfiltered rebellion. And next up, the ultimate rupture, Kendrick Lamar's halftime reckoning, where art meets activism on America's biggest stage. Kendrick Lamar's high-stakes halftime show. Kendrick Lamar turned Super Bowl IX into a firestorm of rhythm, rebellion, and resistance. His halftime show was not just music, it was a megaphone. With each verse, he flipped the NFL's stage into a pulpit, spotlighting injustice and sparking conversation coast to coast. Drenched in symbolism and shadowed by tension, the performance peaked when a protester stormed the field waving Palestinian and Sudanese flags, a jarring, unscripted flash of global defiance before being tackled mid-stage. Yet Kendrick did not flinch. He honored Colin Kaepernick, channeled Ferguson, and made it clear. This was not entertainment, it was an uprising. The NFL, notorious for muting political voices, found itself amplifying one of the loudest. Kendrick's show was part sermon, part battle cry, wrapped in bars and bravado. But behind the poetic fury were corporate guardrails, silent compromises, and silent investors, moms of the movement and moguls in the shadows. He pushed every limit without breaking the contract. Now, fans are asking, if hip-hop can hijack America's most censored spotlight, who's funding the mic and what comes after the message? Sponsorship, censorship, and the campaign wallet. Let's follow the money trail. It's riddled with potholes. Political campaigns now treat rappers like walking billboards, tossing out endorsements like mixtapes. Trump's pardons of Lil Wayne and Kodak Black, not just grace, but strategic branding, a wink to younger, disillusioned voters. Biden-Harris? They leaned in just as hard, with Kamala Harris on stage alongside Quavo, blending gun reform with viral appeal. But that kind of fusion burns hot, and messy record labels panic, sponsors scatter, and the same authenticity that makes rap powerful turns radioactive. Kanye's billions vanished in a heartbeat after his anti-Semitic tirades. Cardi B's no-filter political takes made her too real for sanitized branding. Suddenly, rappers are not just artists, they are chess pieces on campaign boards, risking credibility and culture for influence. The stage may be bigger, but so is the price tag. In this high-stakes remix of money, message, and marketing, some artists cash out while others get played. And the beat goes on. Who's really writing the lyrics now? Culture, credibility, and fan-base backlash. Whiplash comes quick when rap turns referendum. Kanye's MAGA hug ricocheted through Yeezy Nation like a bad sample, cutting fan loyalty in half. Cardi's anti-war rant sparked Twitter brawls hotter than her verses. Suddenly, she was too woke to twerk. Kendrick, fresh off the Super Bowl spotlight, got love for storming primetime with protest, but also heat for letting the NFL velvet rope tame his militancy. Some called him sellout, others saint. Fans feel the tension in their playlists. Do they stream the message or mute the mess? Culture itself stretches, cracks, and remixes, testing where authenticity ends and strategy begins. Credibility becomes crypto-volatile, traded on headlines, lost in a flash, reclaimed in a bar. Sponsors sniff for safe bets, while labels juggle shareholder nerves and street cred like flaming battens. Every verse now doubles as a political stock tip, bullish or busted. Artists chase megaphones bigger than the booth, but every amplified stance risks static. And the soundtrack of backlash? Loud enough to drown the beat unless artists learn to spin dissent into a fresh book before the needle skips. What fans think, and what comes next. So where does that leave the beat-thumping, ballot-thumping circus we have been debating? Maybe, just maybe, the answer is less marriage and more creative co-parenting between culture and civics. When politicians borrow hip-hop's swagger without its substance, the crowd hears the hollowness like a skipped track. But when artists sling verses that sharpen our focus, not our merch budgets, the voter pulse quickens. Think Kendrick's Super Bowl exhale, a stadium moment that made CNN fact-check lyrics before the confetti fell. That flash proved rap can twist mainstream airtime into a civic TED talk with a bass line. Yet the burden can't sit solely on rappers moonlighting as policy wonks. Listeners must tune in past the hook. True change drops when fan playlists become reading lists and campaign stops become listening sessions. So the next time a senator samples a snare, demand they write bars of legislation, not just bars of pandering. In that remix, cynics run out of verses. Activists headline the encore. Hip-hop stays raw, politics stays accountable, and the culture clock keeps perfect time. And after the applause fades, we are left not with a stunt, but with a soundtrack to something real. Conclusion. Let's crank the volume one last time. Rappers are not just crashing the political stage, they are rewriting it, one bar at a time. Whether it's Kanye's chaotic campaign, Cardi's fiery fact checks, or Kendrick's Mike is Megaphone halftime moment, the line between beat and ballad keeps blurring. What cuts through the noise is not fame or flash, it's truth. Fans can smell a fake cosign faster than a leaked diss track, and no filter can save a soulless endorsement. When an artist owns the message, the culture listens. When they're just mouthpieces, the mic goes cold. So as rap keeps remixing the rules of engagement, remember, the real power is not in the politics, it's in the pen. In this cipher of influence, authenticity is not just the hook, it's the whole damn verse. If this mic drop breakdown had you nodding harder than a boom bap beat, smash that like so the algorithm hears the echo. Hit subscribe and ring the bell, because the next verse on culture and politics drops sooner than Kanye switches hats. Share it with your crew, and keep the cipher spinning till the ballots match the bass line.